Treasure Island, based on the original story by Robert Louis Stevenson. Chapter 1: The Captain's Secret. This is the story of my incredible adventure on Treasure Island. I'm Jim Hawkins and I help my mother run the Admiral Benbow Inn. Each day was just like the last, until the morning a stranger arrived. I was sweeping when an old sea captain strode up the road, singing. He saw me and stopped outside the inn. "Many people here," he growled. I shook my head. "Then I'll stay," said the captain. "Name's Billy Bones," he told me, giving me a silver coin. "Look out for a sailor with one leg," he whispered, "and I'll give you a coin every month." During the day, Billy Bones strode along the cliffs peering at the sea through his telescope. At night, he told scary stories about pirates. He stayed for months, but he never paid my mother a penny. One frosty morning, when Billy Bones was out, a man came to the inn. "Is there a captain staying here?" he asked. Just then, Bones strode through the door. "Hello, Bill," said the man, and Bones looked as though he had seen a ghost. "Black Dog?" gasped Bones. "Yes," sneered the man, "and I've come for what's hidden in that sea chest of yours." With a clang of steel, both men drew their swords. Bones struck Black Dog on the shoulder and chased him out of the inn. Bones was so shocked that he grew sick and had to stay in bed. "You've got to help me, Jim," he begged. "Black Dog sailed with a pirate named Captain Flint. Now his whole crew will be after me." Only a few days later, I heard an odd noise outside. Tap, tap, tap. A blind man was trudging along, tapping the road with his stick. "Where am I?" he asked. "The Admiral Benbow Inn," I replied. The man grabbed my arm with an icy hand. "Take me to Billy Bones," he hissed. When Bones saw the blind man, he was horrified. The man gave Bones a note and hurried away. With trembling fingers, Bones read the message. The pirates," he gasped. "They're coming tonight." With a cry of pain, he fell to the floor, and to my horror, he was dead. Chapter 2: Pirates in the Night. I didn't like the sound of those pirates at all, but Mother was determined to see what Bones had hidden in his chest. So that night, I locked all the doors and windows of the inn, and we went to the captain's room. His chest was full of old clothes and weapons, but at the very bottom we found papers and a bag of gold. Excitedly, we began to count the money. Just then, someone rattled the door of the inn. Then I heard a faint tapping. Tap, tap, tap. We grabbed the money and papers and ran out into the night. I'd only just pulled my mother into a hiding place when a gang of men rushed to the inn and smashed down the door. They stormed through our home, shouting, "Bones is dead! Find the papers!" Suddenly, the blind man threw open a window. "The papers have gone!" he shrieked. "Find the boy!" But as the pirates came closer to our hiding place, a group of soldiers galloped over the hill. The pirates fled. "We heard you were in danger," the captain of the soldiers said to me. "Sorry we took so long." "The pirates wanted these papers," I explained. "I think we should take them to the hall and show Squire Trelawney." Squire Trelawney was having dinner with his friend Dr. Livesey. They were amazed by my story. When Dr. Livesey opened the packet of papers, he found a map. "No wonder Flint's pirates wanted this," he said. "It shows where his treasure is buried." Squire Trelawney was thrilled. "Here's my plan," he said. "We shall sail to that island and find Flint's treasure. And you, Jim, can come with us." Chapter 3: The Voyage. So, 1 month later, I hugged my mother goodbye and set off to Bristol Docks. The squire looked very excited. "There's our ship," he said. "She's called the Hispaniola." He asked me to take a message to the ship's cook, Long John Silver. I was horrified to see he had only one leg. Was this the sailor Bones had paid me to watch out for? He seemed friendly enough. Besides, I had something else to worry about. Captain Smollett, who was in charge of the Hispaniola, was angry. "I thought this voyage was a secret," he snapped. "But it seems the whole crew knows you're after Flint's treasure. I don't trust them." We were all worried by the captain's news, but it was too late to find a new crew. The next morning we set sail. During the voyage I made friends with Long John. I liked the talking parrot who sat on his shoulder. But one night I was climbing into a barrel to get an apple when I overheard Long John whispering to a young sailor. "I was Captain Flint's second in command," he said. "Join us pirates and get rich." I broke out in a sweat. Captain Smollett was right. Some of the men were pirates. "We'll wait until we have the treasure," continued Long John. "Then we'll kill the captain and his friends." Just then there was a cry of "Land ahoy!" Everyone rushed onto the deck to look at Treasure Island. I ran to the captain's cabin and told everyone what I'd heard. "Well, we can't give up now," said the captain. "We must find out who's on our side and be ready to fight." Chapter 4: Danger on the Island. Next morning we arrived at the island. The men wanted to lie on the beach. Instead, they had to mend sails and scrub the decks. The sailors started grumbling. Captain Smollett, scared they'd rebel, gave them the afternoon off. The sailors eagerly rowed for the shore. I was desperate to go too, so I slipped into one of the boats. When we reached the beach, I jumped out and ran off into the trees. I was exploring the island when I heard Long John Silver talking to one of the sailors. "Join us, pirates, or you'll pay the price." The sailor turned and ran. With a growl, Long John hurled his walking stick, knocking the man down and killing him. I ran away into the forest, stumbling and gasping. But then I saw a shadowy figure dodge behind a tree. As I drew closer, a wild man sprang out. "Don't hurt me! I'm only poor Ben Gunn." "My pirate friends left me here to die," said Ben. "Please help me escape from the island. I will make you rich if you do." Just at that moment, the distant boom of a cannon shook the air. "I must go and help my friend," said Jack. Meanwhile, as I found out later, Dr. Livesey was searching for me with one of the sailors. They came across a fort made of logs on a hill. Suddenly they heard a piercing scream from the ship. "The pirates are attacking," said the doctor. "Quick, we'll get the others and hide here." "Come on, row faster." The pair rushed back to the ship, helped the captain load a boat with guns, and rowed desperately for the shore. Some pirates fired at them with the ship's cannon, but they reached the land safely. So, as I ran across the island, I saw the captain's flag fluttering over the log fort. I scrambled over the fence and dashed inside. "I've just seen Long John Silver kill a sailor," I cried, panting. "And when I ran away, I met a man called Ben Gunn in the woods." "Silver killed a sailor," said the squire, looking worried. "We don't have many guns," added Dr. Livesey, "and the pirates are all fierce fighters." We stayed up all night trying to decide what to do, but as the sun came up, we still didn't have a plan. Chapter 5: Battle and Escape. At dawn, Long John Silver came hobbling up the hill. "Give us the treasure map," he said, "and we won't harm you." "We don't bargain with pirates," said the captain. "Well then, you're all dead men," sneered Long John, and he walked off. The captain looked at us. "Get ready to fight, my lads," he said. Time seemed to stop. It became very hot and quiet. Suddenly, shots rang out and pirates swarmed over the fence. The captain's men opened fire and a savage battle began. Finally, the fighting was over and the last few pirates ran off defeated. Dr. Livesey took the treasure map and disappeared into the woods. I guessed he had gone to find Ben Gunn, and I wanted to help. Taking 2 pistols, I crept away to join him. But as I walked along the beach, I found a boat Ben Gunn had made. It gave me a wonderful idea. I would cut the Hispaniola loose from its rope. With luck, the few pirates left on board would be taken by surprise and the ship would run aground. It was easy to launch the little boat into the waves, but it wasn't so easy to steer it. When I tried to paddle, the boat just spun in circles. Luckily, the tide swept me over to the ship. Catching hold of the anchor rope, I sliced through it. I could hear people shouting inside, so I quietly crawled to a window. 2 pirates were locked in a vicious fight. The ship moved suddenly, startling the pirates. I dived back into my boat and crouched at the bottom. I hid with my eyes shut as the waves carried me out to sea. Chapter 6. Lost at Sea. Hours later, I woke with my head spinning. It was already daytime and I was bobbing on the sea not far from the island. But when I tried to paddle ashore, the boat was caught by a huge wave and plunged underwater for a second. I was terrified. I realized I had no control over the boat and feared I'd be lost at sea forever. Then, to my great relief, I saw the Hispaniola drifting my way. There was only one thing to do. I would have to get on board and try to take charge. All of a sudden, the ship reared up on the sea and towered over me. I sprang up and managed to catch hold of it just as it smashed the little boat to tiny pieces. Holding on with all my strength, I clambered along a mast as the ship rocked and plunged. Gently, I swung myself down onto the deck. The whole place seemed strangely quiet. In a corner, 2 pirates were lying in a pool of blood. One was dead, but the other groaned and looked up. It was Israel Hands, one of Long John Silver's friends. "What are you doing here?" "I've come to take the ship back to Captain Smollett." Hands smiled slightly. "I'll help you sail the ship to the island, if you like," he offered. But as we approached a bay, I heard a noise behind me. I whirled around. Hands was clutching a dagger, ready to strike. "What are you doing?" "Getting the ship back." He lunged at me, but I skipped to one side. Then I tried to fire one of the pistols. There was only a dull click. In desperation, I scrambled up the mast ropes, climbing higher and higher. At one point, I glanced down. Hands was climbing after me. I paused to reload my pistols. Suddenly, Hands hurled his dagger, striking me on the shoulder. I've never felt such pain before or since. As I shouted out, both pistols went off. Hands screamed and dropped into the sea. With a thumping heart and throbbing shoulder, I climbed down and swam ashore. I'd escaped, and now the Hispaniola was ready for the captain. Eagerly, I set off across the island to find my friends. When I finally reached the log fort, it was dark. I crept inside, stumbling in the gloom. Suddenly, a weird voice shrieked, "Pieces of 8!" It was the parrot. I tried to run, but someone grabbed me and held up a light.